I have one of my amazing, very successful award winners. This is Dr. Brad, and he's going to talk to us about his journey. I know we haven't done awards in a long time. We do have a lot of award winners, and it's happening now. And Dr. Brad is in my mentorship, he's in my mastermind, and he's going to do some vision planning with us in our next mastermind mentorship next week. I am so excited. So, welcome, Dr. Brad. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for all of the information-rich sessions you've provided and the portals and the avenues and systems and support. Without you, this journey would not be the same. So I definitely appreciate it. Thank you.
So, tell us about your journey. First of all, tell us about your background a little bit.
Absolutely. So I have a diverse background, like many others. My journey to this point in life has not been linear. I know some people, they go to engineering school and they're electrical engineer and that's what they do, or they go to Fire Science Academy and become firefighters. And when you say, yes, I'm a firefighter, people know what that is. My journey has been quite diverse. I started in hospitality. I was a DJ at one point. I was a bartender at another point. Absolutely. I then moved over to the airline industry. I worked for a major airline as a supervisor below the wing and above the wing. So when you say, hey, I want to see your supervisor, I was the space you got. I do have a degree. My undergraduate degree is in criminal justice and emergency management. At one point, I thought I was going to fight crime. I did a little bit of emergency management work. Didn't exactly happen. At the time, I went over to the airline industry and I was flying for free in the United States and flying cheap abroad. So it was either, hey, go fight crime or, go to Cabo for the weekend. And so that's where on the corporate side, I started working for a utility and I started in the call center. So again, dealing with people in person, 175 who say, you can't go to your destination, whether it's a wedding or a funeral or what business meeting. Hey, I can't get you there. To going over the phone to having people get upset and yell at you, that was easy. I just put you on mute. I don't even have to see you in person. So that built skills. I got put over on a special project, and that was my first taste of projects. This is where I learned a project is nothing more than a task that needs to be completed. I did very well over there and advanced to a project management role where I started managing projects. Right before I left that job, I earned my master's in organizational management with a specialization in human resource management. I got recruited by my day job, as I call it now, where I am a I'm a program manager for, under my belt, I have automotive, aerospace and defense, and utilities. I have project managers who work for me. That's my day job. And I think this is going to be one of your questions, but I'm going to give a little spoiler alert. One of the reasons I wanted to get into federal contracting is because I saw the rate that my company was billing for the services I was producing, but I was making nowhere near that amount. And I decided that I think I want to bet on myself. I'm doing the work. Why not build the systems that I know how to build and step out for myself? And so one of the plans is at some point I will transition to this being my full-time, gig. I started the class July 25th of this year. There was a contract that came out, and I'm going to tell everybody, I got scared. I scared myself. I had the quote in hand. I had the quote in hand. I knew I had probably one of the best price, and I waited and talked myself out of submitting it. That's essentially what happened. That one was within 3 weeks. I would have won. I saw the price came out. I knew what I
remember
was
that.
going to bid.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yes.
Yes. And that was a trigger for me because that was an aha moment. It's like, I could do this. I could have won that.
Let me do a spoiler. So he has two $350,000 contracts. And that's like, wow.
Shows right now under my awards that in the first quarter of the federal government year, I was awarded almost $750,000 on one day. This is a verified fact. Under the award list, the Brad Solution in one day was awarded nearly $750,000. And that's the first quarter of the federal government fiscal year. I got more time. Make sure that you think about building relationships before transactional. It's not just
That's right.
submitting and winning. It's about, hey, contracting officer Smith, I hope everything is going well. This is what I have. Can you help me out? And I got an email the other day about batteries. We talked about that. And there are some batteries that require you to come up with hazardous labeling. Well, this
Right.
one, and we haven't talked about this, Michelle, but there's this thing out there. I don't want to say it too loud. There's this thing called
I can
non.
cut this part out.
No, no. There's a thing called non-NSN items.
Oh
Um,
yeah, it's yes, and sometimes they show up like it looks weird. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, but go ahead.
but so that's an email I get. Hey, here's this non-NSN item. So I reached out to the contracting officer. My experience with batteries is you got to come up with these labels, and you may remember those conversations we had.
Hmm.
Well, this particular one, no, you just bid, send me your SDS sheet, and then you'll print out everything else. Whoa,
That's it.
that's
Now
an
that I
opportunity.
didn't know. I didn't know they don't make us go through that. That's see, do you see what happens when you're out there just paying attention? But even on the service side, it's like this. When you plant those seeds and just show up, they're gonna come and get you because they are looking for those not just relationships, but they want
They
partnerships
want
because
partnerships and results.
their jobs are difficult.
Hmm. And I always say that to my contracting officers when I initiate an email. So I'm going to share some secrets. These are my secrets, but since this is your family, these are your people,
Yes,
okay.
this is right. This is my family.
it,
Yes.
I always tell them, I'm here to be a strategic partner for you. How can I help you? That's how I always start my emails off that way.
And you know now with your experience, you can win something that costs $1.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of dollar things out there because they only want one. And
Mhm.
the big corporations, it's not worth their time to go
No.
after it. So these are
But
opportunities.
isn't that how you also people may not realize this. I don't know if you realize this. That's how you get some of those AIDCs
Absolutely.
by doing those small ones. And the next thing you know, it's like, okay, that happened to Manu. He's in mastermind with you. He said, Michelle, these people, I want a small order. And then they come back and tell me they want 1 million over this many years. I was like, what? And it's happened to me too. It has happened to me a few times. That's why I try to tell people, don't be fooled just because you think you're giving a good price on a small order of 10 or 15 or 20. But if you become an authority in that space under that specific code, because they're going to be, for those of you guys that don't know how DLA works, they're going to be 1,000 products or could be 1,000 products under one or two codes that are closely related. So
Right.
you get to plant a lot of seeds and you become an authority in
Yeah.
that space. And that's when you start seeing the AIDCs. They start coming so fast. Do you have any parting words from for all of us, or for a person that just wants to start? A lot of people want to do things, but they're afraid. What would you say to that?
I would say, I think it's important to take that inventory. Is this something that you want to do? Because if not, you're going to make up every excuse in the world. But to that, I would object and say you could also find out a reason why you can and how you can do it. So take that inventory and take those next steps instead of making an excuse, oh, I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Say, how can I achieve this? And it is much more obtainable than you can believe. I think part of the beginning of the course, you provide FSC codes, and it's overwhelming. But,
It is. It
but
is.
that's how I won. It's like, there has to be something in here that I know an inch about. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's what led me to my 1005 code. Oh,
Yeah.
I know something. I know these names. These are familiar. And
Yes.
and I
Mhm.
think that's the thing that many people don't realize is there is something in the federal government, the biggest purchaser of supplies and products in the world, that you can provide to them. You just
Yes.
take a minute to find out. And it's not as scary as it seems. What makes this program so special is there's avenues to get to you directly. So when you don't know something, I can send you an email and it does not get unanswered. They get
Mhm.
answered because you're part of the team, you're part of the community. So if you're starting out, I want to say I may be biased, maybe because I'm in the program, but it works if you just be honest with yourself, make sure that you're open and willing and dedicated to making it work.
Mm-hmm.
saying, hey, at 10 o'clock tonight, that's when I do my work. This is a
Yes.
job. this
Yes.
isn't this isn't a side hustle. This is
It's
a
not a side hustle. That's
job.
right.